Hi, I'm Jane Dearwester with McIntyre Elder Law. I'm going to tell you a couple stories about some cases I resolved recently. They're on my mind because they were both mediated and settled this month, and they both involved an elective share. And just briefly, an elective share is a claim by a surviving spouse where if your spouse passes away and either doesn't have a will or left a will that doesn't mention you, you have a right by law to get an elective share of the estate. That elective share, the amount you get depends upon how long you've been married to your spouse at the date of death. And you have to make sure you were actually married when your spouse passed away. But these two cases, they were almost opposite. So in the one case, our client and her spouse had been married over 15 years, and he had a will, but the will he did before they got married. So he never redid his will after they got married, and after he passed away, there were some assets and there was some disagreement about assets between our client, who was the surviving spouse, and he had 3 children from a previous marriage. There was a substantial amount of assets, so there was kind of a lot to fight about. And it took just about 2 years to get that matter resolved. We just settled it in mediation this month. Our client was very happy with that result. She was also very happy that we didn't have to go to trial to further resolve that case, that we were able to get all the parties to agree, get that one resolved. The other case, another elective share, was somewhat different situation. Again, we represented the surviving spouse. They were married a long time, over 15 years. However, her spouse did not have a will at all. And so when he passed away, she ended up owning their house, which was really the only asset in the estate, with, again, children from a prior marriage. This is another important thing to remember when you get married, and if your spouse has children from a previous marriage, if there's no will in place and they pass away, you may end up owning assets, particularly real property, with those children from the previous marriage. So that's really something to think about, that where estate planning can come in handy. But our client in that case just made an assumption that when her husband passed away that she would own everything, but that was not the case. So it was quite a rude awakening for her to understand that she actually now owned the house that she lived in with her husband's children from a previous marriage, and everybody, as you can imagine, did not get along. So we ended up settling that one as well in mediation, did not have to go to trial, and what we decided to do is, in that one, to sell the property and just split the proceeds 50-50. So there are a lot of different ways to settle elective share disputes, to settle estate disputes in general. Those are 2 examples that just came up this month that we had settled. So if you have a case where you're curious about what your rights are and what can be done to resolve the disputes or potential disputes, please give us a call. We offer you a free consultation if you're watching this video, and give us a call either at our Hendersonville, Shelby, or Charlotte offices.